Today, we have your complete starter's guide to Derby Stars, everything you need to know. We are going to go over it today, so be sure to smash that thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe and got notifications turned on, and let's jump right into this. So before we jump into the game, in order to play the game, there is going to be a rental system, so there will be an opportunity to play the game for free once that's implemented. As of right now, though, you need to own an NFT horse in order to play the game. So to do that, what you're going to do is come to the derbystars.com website, go to the marketplace. You can go to either OpenSea or One Planet, click on one of these, and this will show you the floor price, how much volume's been traded, etc. You can look at the different horses. You can sort, by rarity and all that good stuff. Find the horse that you want to buy. If you don't know how to set up your MetaMask wallet or crypto wallet and have it set for the Polygon network, there's plenty of YouTube videos. Just look up, how to set up MetaMask for the Polygon network, and it'll step you through the process. You can see this one is about $123. All you do is hit buy now. It would you'd have to confirm and pay that Matic. I don't really want to buy this right now, but you just hit confirm. It would bring up a little MetaMask transaction thing here. You would confirm the transaction, and then you would then own this horse. To start off, this is the login screen. Currently, what we're going to do is hit connect with MetaMask. This is going to pop up a browser window here. You're going to hit connect with MetaMask. You're going to enter your password, sign in, and click sign. And here we go. So we're going to start. In the early access, they have this airdrop event going on right now. There's 4 different missions you can do: earn 300 PvP points, participate in 50 PvP races, complete 50 trainings, and this one was complete 12 logins. So I have done that one. It shows how much run tokens we are earning based on how many people complete these missions. There's also these weekly missions. So we have, log in 4 consecutive times, done that. Earn 200 points in PvP, haven't done that yet. And this is the screen you're brought to sort of as the default when you first log in here. Got the stable, the inventory, breeding, marketplace, PvP, and then you have training and PvP up here. You first log in, you're going to notice in the top right, there's a little mailbox thing here. You're going to click that. They've been giving some daily rewards and stuff like that. So again, we achieved that personal mission. We've got 18 days that we've logged in. You can click receive on each individual thing and it'll show you sort of what you're earning, or you can just hit receive all. It'll give you all of your items. Okay, so we got some CRT there. We're at almost 9,000, which is perfect. Give us plenty for breeding and doing the PvP competition. Right at the top here is the training. Now you can select food for the training, and in here you have all the different items that you would have gotten as rewards. See something like this, increase your chance of getting great in your training by 10%. So that is pretty massive. The other thing you might notice here is like this is an E item, right? Whereas this is an S. So the food items go E, D, C, B, A, and then S tier is the top. So E is, the lowest, the most basic. B is pretty good. S is top tiers. And you can kind of see this is the S tier, increase mini games by 7%. The E tier is only 2%. So big difference between the quality of items there. The other thing you can do here is the required energy. So you can see the max energy up in the top corner here. This I think is dictated by how many horses you have in your stable. You can adjust the required energy, and that shows you the effects it has on your rewards. So if you go with 4 energy, you get 1.5 times the CRT tokens and max 6 more item rewards. You can go up to 6, you get double the CRT and 6 more item rewards, or you can go all the way up to 8, get 3 times the CRT and max 8 more item rewards. And you can go through the tutorial, which will just kind of walk you through with the NPCs a little bit more. This kind of, introduces you to the game. Just a moment, please. You kind of get to meet the first character here. Yada yada. You can skip through the dialogue. I don't need to read it all to you now, but this kind of introduces you to the game, introduces you to the scenery, the settings, all that sort of stuff. You can also speed up the conversation so that it loads a lot faster. You can also set it to autoplay as well, right? So here we have, these are the different horses stats. Again, I'm not going to walk you through this because they walk you through it in the tutorial here. If you want to learn more about it, it'll step you through everything. You can also then skip the tutorial. So because I've already done this, we are going to do that now. Okay, So skip the tutorial. We are going to jump right into training. Starts out, and if you notice a little exclamation mark here, here's your first bonus little tip here. You can see the text right beside my face. You can't actually read it, but right over here, it says increased chance of great. So if you perform stamina training with the horse here, you actually have a higher chance of getting great. Also, you'll notice where the blue is up on the stamina here, you actually get more of that stat than you would normally. So that is something to be mindful of. This is another one. You can see this has Riza's face there. So it's actually going to give a bonus sort of boost to speed increases even from power training here. So with this, anytime you select the one with their faces, you also go through some dialogue with the NPCs. Again, we'll kind of skip through it. Oh, I just said, I think front runner. So again, this was one of the things where depending on who you interact the most with, that will kind of affect if you get more bonus stats with your horse. Okay, but I've found, or at least what I think, is when you kind of side with Dana, I believe is her name. If you side with the blonde chick, you usually get better rewards for your horse, or better buffs, than if you go with Riza, which is this girl with the cowgirl hat. That is just what I took from, you know, what I've played so far. You know, that might not be the case all the time, but that is what I think. All right, so do with that what you will. Another thing, when it comes to training, at least for the PvE races, right, against the bots, you basically want to prioritize based on your base stats for the horse, right? So if this horse, for example, is really high in speed, so realistically I need to focus like 80% of my training on speed, and that is going to allow me to perform the best against the bots. At least that's the way it is right now, because based on what your horse's sort of default stats are, or their base stats, all the other horses you're competing against that are in the PvE competitions are going to have the same relative stats. Okay, so if your horse is really high in speed, really low in intelligence, all the other horses you're racing against in PvE are also going to be really high in speed, really low in intelligence for the most part. How each of these stats affects the horse in the race itself. So you've got speed, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's how fast your horse is going to run. Okay, then you have power. This is actually how well your horse does around like corners, around cornering. Stamina allows you to maintain your top speed for longer periods of time. Grit allows you to basically like keep control of your horse, and also if the track has like bad weather conditions and stuff, it's not going to be as like shaken up by the bad weather, so it's not going to be like debuffed essentially as easily if it has higher grit. So it's, you know, more resistant to negative impacts on it. And then intellect affects how often your horse's passive skills activate during the race. So if you have higher intellect, it's going to be using a lot more of its special abilities, a lot of its special skills. Every time you train intellect, it actually adds condition back to your horse. Okay, so that's another thing where even when you're really low on horse condition, you can train intellect, and that will that'll actually rejuvenate some of your conditions. So I'm actually going to do that now. We're going to train intellect. Boom, another great. Let's go. So you can see my condition is better. And then what I always like to do is rest for the last turn right before the race, so that the horse has, you know, as good of condition as it can. Obviously, the closer you are to 100, the better your horse is going to feel and perform during the race. So I always like to at least try to rest, you know, the one turn before. If here you can select your races, okay, and these little symbols show you how well your horse is compared to the other horses for those particular stats. Okay, so triangle is basically like okay, it's sort of middle of the road. Circle is good. The double circle is like great, like you're number one in that stat out of all the other horses basically. And then the only other symbol that I've seen is an X. and that is bad, right? That just, you can go into search, see what the track is like, and then you can look at all these individual horses, you know, look at what their stats are, check out their abilities, all that stuff, right? Like you can dive really in depth into it, but for the PvE races, it's not that big of a deal. You can just kind of look at the symbols, see, okay, this one has a double circle, a circle, and the rest are triangles. So I'm probably most likely to do well on this one. Or now we are at the first race. We did our 6 training sessions, and now we're ready to race. And now you can see my speed is now a double circle because I really focused on bringing that up. We got the double circle on intellect still. And then we're good for grit, good for power. The only thing that we're kind of like so on is stamina. So you can select food if you need to, and that will, you know, you can apply some of the different things. This adds to grit, this adds to power, this adds to speed. And so if you add that, let's say, I don't know, I add this to increase my power. Right now it's a circle. If I use this, it's going to be a double circle. And then there's the 4 different talents. So you've got stretch runner, stalker, front runner, and runaway runner. Typically with these, you just want to pick, you know, whatever is your best stat. There is something that it says like if 30% of the horses have the same, are using the same talent, that they're not, it's not going to effectively apply it. But I haven't really noticed any difference. I just go with the one that I'm the highest rated with. Let's start. Let's see how it goes. Number 1 in speed for the thing. That other one was number 1 in power. And so you can kind of get a glimpse of how the horses are doing. You also have the speed multiplier up here as well. So if you want to get through the races faster, you can just crank it up to 3 times speed. That'll play it through. My horse is in the lead here, doing really well. Let's go. Love to see it. And then you can see here the passive skill just applied there. Those skills are applying. Ooh, that guy passed me on the last second, the last fraction of a second. 0.1 seconds difference. That's all right. We came top 2. We're quite all right with that. And then you can see here is the victory points that we earned from that. Again, that plays into the total score that you earn from your training at the end of it. Now that we passed the local race, now it unlocks the nationals, and it's the same sort of thing. You can go through, you can see the different symbols, you can check out the other horses, all that sort of stuff. You can also see that the national races give higher rewards, higher potential victory points than the locals. So it's kind of like a fine balance based on how your horse stacks up with the other ones and how much, you know, VP you're trying to get. If you're trying to maximize the result that you're getting from your training, your reward points, then you can just go with, you know, like the highest reward things. The only caveat is if you lose one of these races, that ends your training session. So if you don't make it all the way through all the trainings to the final Derby race, you're gonna get a way lower score and you're not gonna get as much rewards. So you've got to kind of balance out kind of going for that higher overall score, but making sure that you can still actually win the race. So the other difference is when you go for the national races, you actually get 8 training turns instead of only 6. So you can actually increase your stats more than a local race. And then when the worlds open up after the national, you get 10 turns. So winter season, all of your training gets buffed. So you want to try to maximize your training when winter comes. The other thing is based on how well you perform on the mini game. Every time it's the winter season, you get to play the mini game. Based on how well you perform in that, that's going to boost your effects of your training and stuff like that too. So let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. See how well I can do here. As long as I don't send the wrong food to the wrong side, I can just, you know, keep going slowly like that, and it'll still keep racking up my combo. And that actually adds like a multiplier at the end of it. It's actually really hard to talk and do this at the same time, but you can see because I didn't lose any lives, I didn't make a mistake, I get a multiplier of plus 30%, And so that boosted my score way up, even though I like stopped for a couple seconds there. It's better to take your time and rack up the combo than it is to really just try to spam through it as fast as you can, because if you make the 3 mistakes, you lose. Now that it is winter, you can see all of the leveling is level 4. So now the stat increases are much higher. You can see speed is 1 to 2.4. That used to be, you know, only up to like 1 or something, 1.2. So you get a lot more stats from your training during the winter months. And you can actually click on this here and it will show you the whole calendar. So that'll give you an idea of, you know, when the winter's coming up, when the next race is coming up, that sort of thing. So you can kind of, because I've done a lot of speed training, my speed training just leveled up to level 2. So now I'll actually earn more speed from training it because I leveled it up. So if you do the same training session a certain number of times, it can actually level up, and then you'll get more benefit from that training. You can see here the goal is to make it all the way through the full calendar years here to the 4th year, and then the final derby race. This is the last one. Now I've pretty much noticed every time I get to the final derby race, it's pretty much just triangles across the board. So I feel like you almost need to have a food item to be able to have a chance of winning the final derby. Thankfully I have one left here, so we're going to use the speed of light cherry. It's going to give us that speed boost. Hopefully it's enough to let us win this. Wait, I got passed. No, I got passed by another. Oh, I only ended up in 3rd, but that is not bad. We still got another 900 victory points. So we're going to see, once you complete all of them, or if you lose a race, that is going to complete your training. Let's see what we got. A B grade. Okay, so if I would have won that, might have been closer to an A. And then you could see, as you perform better, you get a lot more rewards as well. Now these guys, the carrots, are how you actually level up your horses for the PvP races and improve their stats. So if we come to the stable here, we grab this horse, select growth, and then we come here to the items, click that, and we could give him, I'm gonna level him up to level 10 here. Boom. And there you have it. He is level 10. And then you can see I just reached, you know, the max level. If I want to get up to level 20 now, I have to do this limit break, which costs 1,000 CRT. So we leveled him 10 times. He's level 10 now. Now we have 10 stats that we can apply here. And now this is for the PvP racing. So this is where I think you want to be a little bit more strategic with where you're putting them. With high speed, you also want to have stamina to kind of balance it so that you can maintain that high speed. I really want to have his intellect a little higher so that he's actually able to use some of his special abilities. That's a little more balanced. It's still really low int and grit, but these are a little more balanced, and we're still kind of focusing primarily on speed, but that is how you actually level up the horses and improve their base stats for the PvP racing. Now I'm going to walk you through the breeding process. It is pretty cumbersome right now, but it is going to be updated for the alpha launch and the public launch, so that is something to look forward to. As of right now though, I'm going to walk you through what we've got to do. So we're going to click breeding here. We're going to confirm this. That's just saying that part of the early access, you only have to pay CRT because the run tokens don't exist yet. But when it's public, there will be a run token. So you'll have to have the governance token plus the in-game currency. So you're going to select your father horse and your mother horse. And then there's going to be a certain amount of CRT you'll have to pay, and then you'll be able to breed. You got to select the father horse. Now this can be any horse, any stallion on the marketplace, so you can use anyone's horse for this realistically. However, I want to use my own horse, so I'm going to look at my stable, find the number 8732, enter that in, and there we go. There's my horse. So we're going to select this, hit select, that is going to select that horse as the father. Now, the mother horse is the horse that you need to have in your inventory. The father horse can be anyone, and you'll basically just have to pay a mating application fee to the owner of the male horse or the father horse in order to be able to breed with it. Because I own both of them, that mating application cost is going to go back to me, essentially. So let's select the mother horse. This is going to come from the wallet. So we're going to pick this horse right here. He's got really good power. The other horse has really good speed. This one also has a little higher intellect, so I feel like that'll balance out a little bit. So we're going to select this. Now we have the male and female horses. We don't have the utility tokens in our wallet, so we have to withdraw CRT from in-game to our wallet. So we go up here, go to players info. That will bring you to this page. Then we're going to click receive to wallet. We're going to take out 8,400. I want to try to get 2 breeds. We're going to hit withdraw. We are going to confirm the transaction. Confirmed transaction. Let's refresh. There we go. We have 8,400 now in our wallet. When we come back to the breeding page, we have to refresh. It keeps the father horse selected there, but we have to reselect our mother horse. So we're going to do that again here. We're going to go with this guy, 5181. We are going to start breeding. Let's see how it goes. All right, so we start breeding. Once again, we have to pay a matic fee. We got to confirm that transaction, and then we see the breeding process is happening. Ooh, let's go. They're making a baby. What do we check the stable? And now we have, here we go, the Derby Stars Soul number 1169. Let's go. So here we go. It is a 5-day period that your horse will remain as a soul. Then we'll have to basically like birth it into a foal, which will be the baby horse. And then that'll be it. We'll have our new horse based on these parents. The stallions, the father horses, technically have unlimited breedings that they can do. It's the mother horses or the mares that you can only breed up to 10 times. And each time you breed with them, it is going to get more expensive. There is also a 7-day cooldown for the mother horse to be able to breed, so we won't be able to breed that same horse. I realized on the last breed I was a little mistaken with the cost of the breeding here, just based on the UI. It was a little confusing. It looked like it was costing me, CRT for the mother horse and CRT for the father horse, but it's really laid out like this. So there's the CRT cost, which is 2,000, and then there's the mating application cost. Now, if you are mating with another horse off the open marketplace, that will go to the owner of that stallion horse. If this is your own horse, that goes right back to you. So it only costs you 2,000 CRT to breed. So now I just wanted to do a breed to show you what it's like, selecting one of the horses off the market here. So we went through, we found this horse. He looks really cool. He's kind of like this steampunk looking horse here. And again, to do that, it's just, you look on the thing here, you can filter, you can say, I only want to breed with, unique horses or something like that, right? And you scroll through and you find this was the guy that we found here. We're going to pick it. Then again, we're going to select our horse, which we are going to breed these two together. This is one off the marketplace. This is something someone else owns. This is my horse. And here we go. They're breeding. Here we go. Making that baby foal. And there we are. So we have our horse. That looks really cool. There's another soul. So these guys are preparing. So that was the breeding process. I'm not gonna lie, it is quite cumbersome right now, but they are planning on improving that and updating things as they head towards the alpha public launch. At least you have the steps to go through it now. Then we have the PvP competition. So you're gonna come up here to PvP. Now they only have the PvP races available at certain times of the day, so you have to come here to register. They notify in the Discord and all of that, as well as when you come in here, if there isn't any races available here, it'll have a countdown to tell you when the next registration process is available. Now you can come in here, you can look at sort of the stats of the race, whether it's turf or dirt. You can look into the race info too. You can see there's local, national, and world races at different times of day as well for the PvP races. The difference here is the national here obviously costs more, so it's 80 CRT CRT for the local, 140 for the national, and I believe it's like 200 or something like that for the world. Also, there's 12 horses in the national race, only 9 in the local. And this one, top 2 get rewards. This one, top 3 get rewards. So we're just gonna give this one a shot. It's all right. So we're gonna hit join. This is the horse we want to go with. You can select your talents again as well. This one's the best talent for this horse, so we're going with Runaway Runner. Select the horse, and we are going to confirm. That is going to spend that 80 CRT, and now we have joined that race, which is going to start in about 40 minutes or so. The PvP race has happened. One of the nice things is, once you've registered for the race, it'll auto do the race for you, so you can check in. There's the competition broadcast here that you can come and check out. If you want to, you go to my competition and you can actually replay this. Ooh, it looks like I came 3rd in this race. You can come in here and you can actually replay the race, watch it play out. If you're sitting around and waiting, you can watch it play out in real time as well. Just like your typical races, you can have it go slower, faster, what have you. But we're just gonna hop back out to the lobby here. See the notification. So this was just notifying that the race had started, and again, this would just bring you to the page where you can watch the live broadcast. You can also watch other races that have already happened, or races that are coming up as well, whether you're in them or not. So there you have it, your complete Derby Stars starters guide. We've covered everything. We went through the training, the PvP competitions, gave you some extra tips and tricks to help maximize your performance, your results. We went through the breeding, the marketplace, the PvP, all of that great stuff. And of course, there's going to be some variations from this, being the early access phase, heading into the alpha and public launch of the game later this year. But let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, and make sure you subscribe and got notifications turned on. We will be updating as the game progresses throughout the alpha launch and everything in the future. So appreciate y'all for watching. As always, until next time, train hard, game hard, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.